In our digital age, the technology industry is an essential driving force behind innovation and economic growth. However, the sector has long been dominated by men. Addressing the gender gap in the talent pool highlights critical issues related to gender representation in the workforce, particularly in the technology sector. In the realm of technology, there's a significant underrepresentation of women who constitute only 23% of the technology workforce. Now, this lack of diversity not only perpetuates corporate exclusion, but also raises concerns about inherent biases in artificial intelligence algorithms and workplace tools. Such biases can reinforce existing inequalities and hinder women's contributions to the evolving economy. Here's Dr. Jane Usher, MBA Programme Coordinator at the Boston City campus, and joins us now for the conversation. Doc, thank you so much for your time this morning. So, today, we talk about fixing the leadership pipeline and how the broken rung in the corporate ladder prevents women from reaching executive roles. And I'd imagine this is a conversation that's been had years on end. Are we really making strides?
Good morning, and thank you so much for inviting me and having me on this chat. So this has been going on for many years. And in light of the progress that has been made, if we carry on in the same vein, we will reach parity in about 2058. That's a little bit too slow. So it has been talked about, but we really need to focus on how are we going to properly bridge this gap and get women into the workforce that we need, because it's half the talent pool. So when we talk about the broken rung, this is a very important part of the whole system of ensuring that women start moving into the places of senior leadership, senior executive leadership. Because from the get-go, from the very beginning of when a woman starts work, they are not promoted at the same rate as men are. And that is that very first promotion from entry level to management. And this has a ripple effect going forward, because then there are less women in the talent pool. Women also get disillusioned with corporates. They may leave. Here they may go overseas. But some of them are starting their own businesses, which is a good thing. However, there are challenges in areas there that need to be sorted out as well. So I think it's a very important element for us to talk about, and it's not a woman's problem. It's a leadership crisis problem that we need to come together as a collective and work out systemic ways and holistic ways of ensuring that we start moving women through the ranks and using the power and the innovations and the creativity that come from a different perspective in our leadership teams.
And just as you touched on some of the challenges there, Doc, I actually wanted to pick your brain on this, because seemingly the challenges keep growing year in, year out. And, you'd hear in some conversations where women say that when they eventually get there, they have to work twice as hard to prove themselves. How do we move and navigate around this obstacle?
And that is one of those embedded, it seems to be kind of a corporate culture, or maybe just a limitation where women are, and it's something that women experience all the time. So I think one of the things that could help is ensuring that we've got mentorship programs are going on, and that's super. But we need to work, women need to support each other, number one, in terms of sponsorship and advocacy. So we need to be advocating for each other in terms of promotions and that. But it's not only women to support women. It's a collective. We need both women and men, young and old, to start working together to spot the talent and see the people who have that drive, who want to get to where they're going, can be going, and properly support and advocate for this. And this is where another element that is very exciting is the use of technology now, because women have also so many roles that they are juggling. They've got childcare, they may have parent care, then they've got to work. And it is so that women do take on more of the household chores. And I'm not saying that's in every household, so please, don't get upset about that. But it is seen to still be that way, and so they need to be able to juggle and be more flexible. And this is where technology is aiding remote work and hybrid work, because then women are able to juggle these roles and work at different times, get around their other responsibilities. Not that work could be a secondary focus in their lives, but it does give them the flexibility to plan their work schedules. But people need to understand that if someone is not in the office, it doesn't mean they're not working. So if you're in the office, you could be wasting lots of time socializing and having coffee, and that's what often does happen. And so we need to start changing the view of remote and hybrid working so that we can enable women to really come to the fore and see what we can add, because we've got a lot to add to organizations and then to their the bottom line. So it should be embraced.
And I like that you mentioned that, because on many times we always hear about the elements and that dynamics that you talk about right now, that all these elements are usually woven in together to see women not only make it, but also thrive in these positions that they occupy. Let's talk about bridging this gender gap that we talk about in executive employment and future industries. Technology is also an equalizer for inclusion in the future workforce. How do we ensure an all-inclusive environment for women on this front?
Well, so that to me it's a big issue. It's an issue that we need to start addressing from the early stages of childhood, and I think it is getting better. Women and girls are seeing, no, I can do the same. I can do science. I can do maths. And so those stereotypes are being broken down little by little. I don't think it's fast enough. And to start encouraging women and on every level to understand that they can actually move into a job that was perhaps a male-dominated area, such as what people kind of see the tech industry as male-dominated. And this, we need to have programs available that, whether they're short programs or long qualifications, there's always a requirement, a mix of both. You may need certain quick skills for something that you just need to upskill yourself, but that having a qualification that introduces areas such as managing disruptive technologies, how do you do this, so that women understand this and are able to embrace it and make decisions in terms of tech and business and how they can use what they are learning. So it starts really from school, and it keeps on throughout a person's life journey and work journey, because and nowadays we move jobs. We don't stay in the same job for 30 years as it was before, and that's where women need to be aware and be looking and talking to each other and networking and connecting, so that they can see what's out there and embrace it, and then use the online education platforms are fantastic, and those main modalities for learning at your own time can help you move into something that maybe gets your attention. You thought you were, pegged in this hole, but maybe tech actually does excite you. And there are a myriad of positions available for women in different industries that are underpinned by tech. So I don't think we should be scared of it. I think women need to learn about it, embrace it, because now's the time for us to do that, and to ensure that we have a voice in how algorithms are set up, so that there's not the biases that we've seen happen at this stage. So, it's a wide thing, but it starts from the ground up. But it doesn't mean that people or women who are in their 20s, 30s cannot move into a different sector. And the tech element does assist them to do that.
Listen, Doc, I wish we had more time to further unpack, but I must thank you so much for your time and insights on the program this hour. It's really much appreciated. That's, of course, Dr. Jane Usher, who's MBA Programme Coordinator at Boston City Campus, chatting to us there.